Yeah, like I say, that feeling just, like, even just to have that type of music out, you know what I'm saying, just on the positive level was like, feels super, super good.
A grainy video, a thunderstorm of rumors, and a sudden jolt of reality. Lil Durk, once the shining star of Chicago's drill scene, just became the center of a viral jail clip that's raging across social media. In that clip, he seems focused, surprisingly calm, yet weighed down by the possibility of a lifetime behind bars. And now, at last, he's broken his silence. The words he spoke in that echoing corridor have everyone in shock, because for the first time, Durk is telling his side of the story in a way no one expected. Is he on the brink of a triumphant comeback, or is this the beginning of his last chapter?
So it was kind of hard because I'm trying to do it. I remember a long time ago, I can't remember what year it was, Jay-Z came to United Center, and I think he brought Meek with him. And they had called me around the number 9 phone, like, "Cause United Center, we should bring y'all out." And it's so crazy because he caught a flat, which is me and him.
What he said from that cramped corner in federal lockup may change everything. Long before record deals and viral YouTube hits, Lil Durk, real name Durk Derrick Banks, navigated a sea of hardships in Chicago's notorious Englewood neighborhood. He used raw, unfiltered lyrics to turn everyday tragedy into gripping music. By his early 20s, he had aligned with some of the biggest names in rap, stacking collaborations that soared to the top of the charts. Fans gravitated to him not just because of his catchy hooks, but because he put the brutal honesty of street life under a spotlight for the whole world to see.
He caught the flat tire. We missed it. And I just kept telling him, like, man, everything happened for a reason. I'm like, everything happened for a reason. We both was mad, because I'm like, damn, we missed Meek and Hov. It's confidence. Like, I ain't want him to lose confidence, where it's like, damn, we just lost it.
Momentum grew fast. Streaming numbers skyrocketed, tours sold out, and fellow Chicago icons embraced him as the next voice of the city. He diversified too, stepping into philanthropic efforts, releasing emotional tributes, and attempting to shift the narrative away from cyclical street violence. But that turned out to be only one side of the coin. Behind the scenes, whispers turned into roars about alleged retaliation hits and dark entanglements within his close-knit circle. For a while, that chatter felt like the typical rumor mill that surrounds any high-profile rapper.
Everybody ain't gonna be there to see you. You know what I'm saying? You got, like, that's what I was telling Cash down, like, this Meek tour. You're gonna be here to see Meek. But the thing is, you gotta win over fans.
Then, federal agents stormed in, turning rumor into grim reality. Durk's image of resilience took a crushing blow when court documents hinted at something far more serious than random street beef. A carefully orchestrated murder-for-hire plot. Suddenly, the man who once rapped about surviving every bullet aimed his way found himself staring down indictments that threatened his freedom, and possibly his life. That's when the entire narrative shifted from chart-topping anthems to the claustrophobia of a federal detention center.
So if they draft for you, like me too, if they draft for me, you still gotta rock with that energy and still turn up, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get new fans.
Yeah.
That's how you gonna make your numbers go up.
How does a superstar with platinum plaques wind up on the federal government's radar for a potential murder-for-hire scheme? According to leaked documents and insider tips, it all started with talk of accusations surfaced linking Durk to a shocking hit job. Rumors swirled that he had supposedly offered cash to settle a vendetta, maybe fueled by old feuds or the tragic death of an affiliate. In the rap world, big talk often stays talk, but the authorities insisted they had real evidence to back the claims. Then came the hush-hush raids, sealed indictments, and a cunning use of conspiracy laws, usually reserved for top-level gangs.
So yeah, I just started putting more meaning to my music. At first it was just rah-rah, like no subject for real. You know what I'm saying? So I just started just speaking to them, like, speaking to the streets, speaking to what you're going through.
This wasn't just local law enforcement swooping in for a quick arrest. It was the feds, methodically piecing together phone records, text messages, and suspicious transactions. Soon, the media buzzed with the possibility of a RICO case, a dreaded charge known for scooping up entire crews and leaving them to fight for their lives in court. Lil Durk, they alleged, wasn't just another rapper caught in crossfire. He was the one coordinating it from behind the microphone. In no time, social media ignited with theories. Had someone inside Durk's camp flipped? Did money exchanges trace right back to his accounts? Or was it someone else holding the purse strings?
What your people's going through, what people going through around me. I said, when I start stick to that subject, everybody around me start feeling it more. Even who was around me but wasn't listening to me.
Federal agents claimed they had phone taps that caught incriminating phrases in code. If it's all true, this means Durk might have penned violent lyrics while also greenlighting actual street moves. Skeptics argue it's another witch hunt, a pattern of targeting high-profile rappers to make an example. But the feds remain adamant. The evidence they have goes beyond bragging and bars. In an instant, Lil Durk's life of luxury, complete with private jets, designer clothes, and manic studio sessions, crashed into the cold, cramped world of federal detention.
Yeah, it's a lot can change from then to now. You can tell a big difference on just character, the music, the beat selection, the entourage, like everything has changed from that.
Far from a comfortable suburban county jail, MDC Los Angeles is infamous for overcrowded conditions and frequent clashes between inmates from diverse criminal backgrounds. Drug lords, alleged terrorists, and white-collar criminals populate the same concrete maze. Status means nothing here. If anything, Durk's fame makes him a tempting target for someone looking to build a name on the inside. He was barely settled in when the first wave of trouble hit. Officials caught wind of unauthorized three-way calls linked to him, a major no-go in federal lockup. Prosecutors seized on this, presenting it as proof Durk doesn't follow rules. After that, a judge slammed the door on bail even after a multi-million-dollar bond offer. Gone was any semblance of the star treatment he had grown accustomed to. Here, you're just another inmate, handing over your rights at the gate and dealing with broken facilities and the unsettling knowledge that even a sideways glance might spark a confrontation. Inmates from MDC often complain about faulty lights, broken plumbing, and extended lockdowns that push tensions to a boiling point. Violence can erupt in the blink of an eye, leaving staff scrambling. And staff, too, have been caught smuggling contraband in exchange for bribes, fueling an underworld economy inside these drab walls. Any advantage Durk might have as a celebrity can backfire just as quickly, with hustlers on the inside eyeing him for payouts or pressuring him to join alliances. Surviving each day is like balancing on a razor's edge. One mistake, one misread signal could become catastrophic. It all took a wild turn when someone leaked grainy footage of Lil Durk in what looked like a common area of MDC Los Angeles. In the video, he doesn't speak directly into the camera, but his eyes dart with a mixture of exhaustion and guarded resolve. He's dressed in standard issue attire, a shocking contrast to the flashy image fans are used to. That short clip took social media by storm. Some claimed it looked like Durk had lost weight. Others argued he seemed mentally drained. A few diehard supporters insisted that a certain glint in his eye showed he was more determined than ever to clear his name. Memes sprang up with supporters chanting, "Free Durk," while critics posted scathing comments. Hashtags flew around claiming everything from conspiracy theories about the government targeting successful black artists to accusations that Durk had orchestrated the leak himself for sympathy. As is typical on the internet, the noise escalated. But beyond the chatter, the video sparked a much bigger question. If Durk was truly innocent, why did he look so defeated? And if he was guilty, was this the face of someone who realized the clock was running out? Experts chimed in, explaining that such leaks often come from contraband cell phones snuck in by corrupt guards or cunning inmates. The fact that it reached the public so quickly suggests an extensive underground network. However it got out, the clip instantly raised the stakes. Fans demanded answers, haters reveled in the drama, and the entire rap community prepared for Durk's next move. That move, it turned out, came in the form of a recorded statement, his first real words from behind those oppressive walls. Just days after the viral video made headlines, a snippet of audio popped up online. It was Lil Durk's voice, unmistakable in its husky calm, and it held a single clear statement: "I'm not giving in, and I'm not letting them write my story." His tone wavered between defiance and grief, a man perched between desperation and hope. The clip lasted under a minute, but it set the internet on fire, fueling a tsunami of new questions. In that brief statement, he insisted that the allegations against him were nothing more than distorted rumors. He also hinted that certain forces were conspiring to twist his image, suggesting there might be powerful players, either from his own circle or from the government, determined to see him locked away for good. And in what might have been the most startling part, he addressed fans directly, saying, "I owe it to all of you to clear my name and stand up for the truth." The raw emotion in his voice had even longtime detractors pausing. Could Durk have been set up? Or was this just a carefully orchestrated plea from a man who knows the walls are closing in? Social media roared once again, with some people praising Durk's fortitude, while others slammed him for playing victim. Hashtags soared as fans speculated about the unseen parts of the recording. Was there a longer message left on the cutting room floor? Did Durk mention any co-defendants or speak about rumored informants within OTF? All we have is that solitary snippet, and it's enough to convince many that this case is anything but open and shut. What makes Lil Durk's situation even more precarious is the fate of his inner circle, collectively known as only the family, OTF. A handful of these associates also sit behind federal bars, facing conspiracies that tie them to everything from gun trafficking to orchestrated hits. The prosecution's narrative depicts OTF not as a music label, but as the public-facing arm of a criminal outfit. It's the same sort of language typically reserved for ruthless street organizations or even the mob. Some members are rumored to be quietly negotiating plea deals, potentially passing inside intel to federal investigators. Any one of them flipping could be the final domino toppling Durk's defense. Whispers swirl that a trusted friend, once praised for doing a long bid without talking, might now be providing details about secret calls and coded directives. These rumors make their way around MDC fast, traveling cell to cell until no one's sure what's true. Durk's short message from jail didn't mention OT by name, but he did talk about betrayal, painting a vivid picture of certain people turning their backs when the heat turned up. If that's a direct reference to a co-defendant or a longtime confidant, the tension behind bars could be reaching a boiling point. For a collective that prided itself on loyalty and brotherhood, this fracturing trust might be the biggest blow, one that even Durk's star power can't fix. Prosecutors say they've built an airtight case, fortified by phone taps, suspicious financial transactions, and rap lyrics that supposedly function as confessions. They highlight alleged lines from Durk's unreleased or partially leaked tracks that hint at paying off certain individuals to handle enemies. They point to direct messages on social media that appear to set up meetups in different states, referencing the final steps of a hit job. Then there are credit card statements for flights and rental cars suspiciously tied to OTF accounts, all around the time of specific violent incidents. Lil Durk's defense team has a different story, that he's a target of overreach. They argue the government is weaving a narrative around intangible fragments. An OTF-branded credit card could be used by any label employee. A cryptic lyric about getting payback could just be referencing beef within the music industry. And a text telling people, "Don't use my name on flights," could indicate he was deliberately distancing himself from wrongdoing. Then there's the question of reliability. Many times, the star witness in such federal cases is an informant with a murky past, desperate to reduce their own sentence. A savvy lawyer can exploit that in front of a jury, painting them as manipulative, self-serving, and motivated by fear. The final outcomes vary wildly. If Durk's team dismantles the prosecution's storyline piece by piece, and if no direct witness testifies that Durk ordered or paid for violence, he might walk. On the other hand, if even one co-defendant flips, or if a single phone recording cements him as a shot caller, he could face life in prison with no possibility of early release. A plea deal is on the table, but for charges that involve murder for hire, deals can still mean decades, an entire career left to wither behind concrete walls. Legal experts caution that federal prosecutors rarely file charges they can't prove, yet we've seen exceptions. The key lies in whether Durk's newly voiced statements sway public sentiment and eventually a jury. His vow to clear his name might be genuine, and if he can do that with solid evidence and combative cross-examination, the government's case may lose momentum quickly. Nothing about Lil Durk's current ordeal is simple. The swirling combination of fame, money, alleged criminal conspiracies, and possible betrayals forms a perfect storm for drama and intrigue. His first spoken words from behind bars reveal a man who refuses to be silenced, asserting that powerful forces want to write a narrative he insists isn't true. Fans find hope in that defiance, while critics see it as a last-ditch attempt to save face. The federal trial looms, a massive iceberg on the horizon, slow-moving yet potentially devastating. What remains to be seen is whether Lil Durk's carefully chosen words will change hearts and minds or simply stoke more controversy. Will the star once hailed for giving voice to the unspoken realities of Chicago's streets walk free and reclaim the spotlight? Or will this viral jail video become one of the final glimpses fans get before Durk disappears into the system for good? The tension is real, the stakes are lethal, and every day brings a new rumor or revelation. There's a reason the clip of Durk behind bars went viral in record time. It's a tangible look at someone who reached unimaginable heights and might soon lose it all. Keep watching closely, because this story is nowhere near finished. His next move, his next statement, and the next development in court could alter the fate of not only Lil Durk, but the entire culture that's rallied around him. Sound off with your thoughts and theories in the comments. And don't forget, when it comes to a case this massive, one word or one whispered deal could change everything overnight.